All right, let us say hello to Nassourdine Imavov, the man most believe is the number one contender for the UFC middleweight title. Of course, the division and the middleweight title picture was on full display this past weekend. So I'm quite curious to get his thoughts on everything that is going on and everything that went down on Saturday. Nassourdine, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. And thank you to Yunez here as well for translating. But it's good to talk to you again, Nasruddin. A lot of people have been wondering what you've been up to since your big win over Caio Bajalio. So, what has life been like since that big win over Caio Bajalio?
Ah, du coup, il dit, il y a beaucoup de gens qui se demandent qu'est-ce que devient ta vie depuis la grosse victoire contre Caio Borralho. Alors, est-ce que tu peux nous parler un petit peu de ta vie? Qu'est-ce qui se passe depuis Caio Borralho?
La routine, comme d'habitude, il se passe pas grand-chose. Je pris un peu de la pause, un peu de vacances. Puis maintenant, je reviens pour les entraînements. Hard work, comme d'habitude.
So, nothing special happened, like after the fight, I take some time for me, for myself. Had some injuries, so I had to have some checks and medicals. But right now, I'm back at training and I need to focus on something.
Yes. And I think many would assume you'd be focusing on what could be next for you, wondering when you'll get your shot at the UFC middleweight title, especially with how everything played out at the end of last year. Everyone assumed you would be the guy that is next to fight Khamzat Chimaev and fight for the belt, especially after Brendan Allen beat Reinier de Ritter. Do we have an update on that? What is going on? Has the UFC reached out to you or the team and said, you know what, hang tight, Nasruddin, you're next. We're just waiting for the date. Any conversation at all about when or if you're fighting for the belt next?
Du coup, la question c'est lorsque, du coup, sur la fin d'année, tout le monde parlait du combat entre toi et Khamzat Chimaev, étant donné que tu es le contender numéro un. Est-ce que tu as eu plus de nouvelles de l'UFC à ce propos-là? Est-ce que vous en avez discuté, etc.?
Plus de nouvelles, pas tant que ça. Pas tant que ça. On les a eu au téléphone, le matchmaker. Pour le moment, on ne sait pas. Ni moi, ni Khamzat. Je pense même l'UFC, pour le moment, ils ne sont pas fixés. Donc voilà, nous on espère qu'on va combattre pour la ceinture parce qu'on la mérite depuis longtemps. Et voilà, maintenant il reste qu'à attendre et rester prêt.
Il y a la discussion à Doha aussi, du coup.
Ouais, la discussion à Doha, ben, tu diras, t'étais là, hein.
Ouais,
Donc
mais parle-en parce que je viens
ouais,
de traduire.
ok. Ben, pss, franchement, ils ont été très corrects, très corrects. Ils nous ont dit que voilà, que qu'ils avaient déjà prévu de faire le combat pour la ceinture. Je crois que c'était pour décembre au début. Ensuite, il voulait février, mais Khamzat qui s'était blessé et puis ça avait chamboulé un peu leur plan. Mais en tout cas, ils ont gardé ça dans la tête que c'est moi les prochains. Et ça nous rassure.
So no final news yet, no contract signed or whatever. Like one of the last discussions I had with them was with Hunter Campbell and Mick Mena in Doha, Qatar, when it was a Doha event. And the thing that they told me is that they wanted to schedule the fight against Hamzat for December, then for February. But then Hamzat got injured, and they were thinking about when they can put this fight. But nothing confirmed yet. Nothing confirmed yet. And we spoke recently with Mick Maynard, the matchmaker, and he was kind to see the fight against Hamzat, but we don't have final approval or whatever.
When was that conversation? That most recent conversation? When did that take place? That take place before Sean Strickland's win or after?
Before.
It happened before. Okay. So I want to go back to obviously what Sean did, but I want to go back to like this whole Hamzat thing because I remember it just seemed like, all right, we're getting Hamzat versus Nasruddin. And then Hamzat Shemaev does an interview with ESPN and essentially says, hey, if the UFC wants me to fight him, I'll fight him. But he was also a little bit reluctant because he knows you, Nasruddin. He says you're a good guy. There's the Dagestan Chechen dynamic that is in play as well. But again, if the UFC says this is the fight, he'll fight you. Did you hear those comments? And if so, what was your reaction to them?
lorsqu'ils ont questionné Khamzat ESPN sur le fait de combattre contre toi, etc., ce qu'il avait dit, c'est que si l'UFC veut organiser ce combat, bah, il fera ce combat-là. Mais si c'est de son plein gré, c'est pas lui qui va chercher ce combat-là parce qu'il te connaît, que tu es un bon gars, qu'il y a la fraternité entre les Dagestanais et les Tchétchènes. Est-ce que tu as entendu ces commentaires-là et qu'est-ce que tu en penses?
Oui, bien sûr, j'ai entendu ça. C'est pareil pour moi, parce que je vois un peu passer à droite à gauche que, comme quoi, ils disent que ouais, ces deux-là, ils veulent pas s'affronter, donc c'est normal que Nassour, il a pas la ceinture, alors que non, aucun de nous deux a dit non au combat. On n'a pas dit non. C'est juste si ça serait de notre gré, comme ça on dit, si ça serait de notre choix, on aimerait de pas s'affronter. Maintenant, s'il n'y a pas le choix, c'est du sport, on va s'affronter, il n'y a pas de problème. C'est ça que j'aimerais bien que tu leur expliques. Yeah.
So, of course, I heard what Hamzat said, and I'm 100% agree with him. You know, we are in the same position, we know each other and everything. But like he said, if the UFC want to put this fight, they will go in and they will go full inside the cage, and that's it. So he saw a lot of comments and everything on Twitter X about him and Hamzat not willing to fight each other and everything. No, that's not the truth. You know, the only thing is that right now it's for the belt. So it's for the belt. It's in the hands of the UFC, and UFC puts the fight they want for the belt. And if they call Nassourdine to fight Hamzat or Hamzat to fight Nassourdine, that's the same. Both guys will say yes, and will go full at it.
Now Hamzat has been teasing, hey, I want to go up to 205, maybe fight Alex Pereira. There's rumors he's fighting somebody else, but I'm told that there's really no truth to that right now. But he hasn't defended the title yet since he beat Dricus du Plessis. And I know Dana White just said he would like to see Hamzat stick around and defend the title before he moves up. Do you agree with Dana Nassourdine? He should stick around for a title defense, fight you, and then if he wins, then move up. Would it be a little strange to watch Khamzat move up without even defending the belt from the where you sit?
Il dit que Khamzat a teasé une montée en lourd léger. On a vu les commentaires de Dana qui disait que d'abord il doit défendre sa ceinture, etc. Qu'est-ce que tu penses des commentaires de Dana, du fait que quelqu'un qui veut monter doit défendre sa ceinture d'abord? Je pense que là-dessus, tu peux jouer sur le fait que ce soit une super rosta et que des fois il y a des exceptions qui sont faites, tu vois.
Ouais, c'est ça. Après, c'est à la fin, c'est lui aussi qui décide. Si c'est Dana qui a dit, qu'est-ce que je peux dire maintenant? Il y a des exceptions, comme tu as dit, il y en a, on l'a déjà vu auparavant, tu vois. Il y a eu des exceptions pour des grandes stars comme Ramzat et en plus maintenant il est balèze, donc ouais, c'est ce qui est possible.
Yeah, you know, I know him. He's really heavy. You know, he's really heavy for the middleweight division, and so that's why he wants to go up to 205. Now Dana said he doesn't want someone to go up without defending. So if Dana says it, it's like this, you know, and that's the UFC who manages everything at the end, you know. But if we speak about Hamzat going up. Like we saw some exceptions in the past and everything, and Hamzat is maybe uh, a big enough star to go up without defending, but it doesn't matter at the end. It will be the choice of the UFC, and me, I'm ready for whatever.
Well, obviously, a lot of eyes were on this past weekend with Sean Strickland fighting Anthony Hernandez. And Nasruddin, you as the guy sitting there as the number one contender who has done more than enough to earn a title shot, a lot of the narrative heading into the fight was, well, the winner could jump Nasruddin and get a fight with Khamzat Chimaev. Did you hear that chatter at all heading into the fight between Sean and Anthony?
Donc tout le monde était convaincu que tu étais le prochain contender, que tu as fait largement ce qu'il fallait pour mériter ta place au title shot. Mais plus on a avancé vers le combat de Strickland et Hernandez, plus les gens se sont dit le mec qui va gagner, potentiellement, il va doubler Nassourdine et aller pour la ceinture. Est-ce que tu as entendu ça et qu'est-ce que tu en penses?
Est-ce que j'ai entendu ça? Vite fait, hein. Vite fait, je pense que il- en gros, ce qu'il dit, c'est Strickland, il peut me doubler pour la ceinture, c'est ça.
Que, en gros, plus on a approché du combat entre Strickland et Hernandez, plus les gens disaient que
Que
le
les gens,
gagnant,
ils
il
pensent
va doubler
qu'il
pour la ceinture.
il peut me doubler pour la ceinture. Non, écoute, il a gagné Hernandez, il sort d'une victoire. Il va me doubler parce qu'il a une grande gueule. C'est tout ce qu'il a fait, c'est une victoire sur Hernandez, que avant ça, il avait affronté Dolidze. Ensuite, c'est parce qu'il ouvre, il peut me dépasser. Ouais, c'est ridicule, ça reste quand même du sport. Euh, voilà, il a déjà eu cette chance-là. L'UFC l'ont déjà fait cette faveur de combattre pour la ceinture après avoir battu le minable Costa. Je pense que ça, il faut pas que ça devienne habitude. Ça reste quand même du sport et voilà. En tout cas, aujourd'hui, dans la KT, personne mérite comme je mérite moi. 3 top 10, 2 top 5 en seulement 18 mois. Ah, j'ai plus rien à rajouter.
Yes, of course, I heard it a little bit, but it means nothing to me because what you're going to do. Strickland is coming off a loss against DDP, then he won against Hernandez. That best win was Dolidze, that I already beaten 4 fights ago, and then this guy will have the privilege to go for the belt after one victory. So for me, it makes no sense. And also, before he already had this chance because when he lost to DDP, then he fought against the poor guy, the poor Costa, and he got another chance to the title and lost again. So for me, like it doesn't mean anything because at the end of the day, it remains sports. Of course, there is entertainment around that, but it remains sports, and it's not because the guy had a big mouth that he can jump everything. But I know that the UFC that makes the choice. But what you have to understand that it remains sports, and no one in this division deserves the title more than me. Guys, I don't repeat it enough, but I've done five. I have a five win streak against three top 10 opponents, two top 5 opponents in less than 18 months. Nobody did that before. So, I know that my next fight should be for the title and nothing else.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Nassourdine, just knowing the UFC's modern business model. And look, I completely agree with you. There is nobody in this division who deserves a championship opportunity more than you. As a matter of fact, I didn't even think you needed to fight Kyle Bahalio. You should have probably gotten the title shot before Khamzat got it. If we're being honest, it would just happen to be Khamzat is who Khamzat is. They stuck him in there, but you had done obviously enough work to earn the shot. And as I'm watching this all unfold, I'm watching Saturday and I'm thinking, man, this might have been a tough night for you because of it being Sean, how he won, and everything attached to it. Because Sean is a very popular fighter. And whether you like him or not, he evokes emotion and reactions from every single person that watches him. And this would not be the first time we saw a fighter jump the line who maybe didn't deserve it over the other person. Are you concerned at all that after Saturday night, Sean Strickland is going to fight for the belt before you? I don't think it's fair. I don't think I don't think anybody else would think it'd be fair. But knowing how the UFC sometimes runs business, are you concerned about this right now?
Ouais, mais Nassourdine, tu comprends un peu ce business, etc. Je pense qu'aujourd'hui, tu es déjà accoutumé à tout ça. Et évidemment et factuellement, il n'y a personne dans cette division qui mérite le titre plus que toi. Et je pense que tout le monde est unanime là-dessus. Maintenant, tu connais le business de l'UFC. Strickland, bah, il laisse pas insensible les gens. À chaque fois qu'il parle, évidemment, ça va créer de l'engagement, ça fait parler l'agent, soit l'aimer, soit le haïr, peu importe. Mais il crée des émotions. Est-ce que tu te dis pas que l'UFC pourrait faire ce choix-là? Et est-ce que, en gros, ça te fait chier?
Non, franchement, je me dis pas du tout. Je pense que je suis le prochain, je suis persuadé. Maintenant, je suis royal là-dedans parce que c'est plus sur les gens qui parlent sur Internet. Je comprends pas comment ce gars-là peut passer devant moi. Tu vois, moi, je m'inquiète pas du tout. Il y a pas de problème de mon côté. Mais voilà, je réponds à ça. Tu peux pas. Tu peux pas. Ça reste du sport quand même. Je mérite encore depuis Adesanya. Tu
Il l'a
vois,
dit, ouais,
ensuite,
il
je
l'a dit.
regarde. Il a dit, ouais. Donc, on m'a mis Boralo, on a accepté pour rester actif, parce que le timing, etc. Et puis, juste parce qu'il parle. Bah, franchement, non, j'ai aucune inquiétude. Je sais que le prochain, c'est moi.
Honestly, no, I don't have any concern. Honestly, I don't have any concern. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't have any concern because for me, like it's impossible to give a title shot with one win. With one win against a guy that his best win is someone outside from the top 10. So for me, it's impossible. So I have no concern. I see people speaking about it, but like I said, he doesn't deserve. He had one luck one time with a victory over Costa. And like you said, I didn't have to take the fight against Caio Borralho, but I took it because I want to show people that I'm active, and that's my sport, that's my job, so I need to stay active. But also, I wanted to clear everybody's mind that I'm the guy in this division. Caio Borralho was on a 17 win streak, and I beat him with his 5-0 4-1 with other judges. So yeah, I have no concern. So then let's see what happened.
What did you think of the fight on Saturday between Sean Strickland and Anthony Hernandez? Did it go the way you thought it would? Were you surprised by anything? And what did you think of Sean's performance?
Qu'est-ce que tu as pensé du combat de Sean contre Hernandez? Est-ce que c'est allé comme toi tu le pensais? Et qu'est-ce que tu as pensé de la performance de Sean Strickland?
Euh, Hernandez, je ne connaissais pas tant que ça. J'attendais de le voir contre le haut niveau et j'ai vu. Mais pour Strickland, ça n'a pas trop changé. J'ai pas l'impression qu'il évolue. J'ai même l'impression qu'il est plus en train
Regresse.
de regresser. Et voilà, j'avais l'impression qu'il était un peu plus fatigué que d'habitude. Mais sinon, au niveau style, ça n'a pas changé grand-chose. Et je pensais qu'il a... Moi, je savais qu'il allait gagner ce combat-là.
Um, like Hernandez, I didn't know a lot about him. He's in my weight division and everything, but I didn't know much about him. I was waiting to see him against a top opponent, and I saw what happened when it's a top opponent in front of him. About Strickland, what he did, honestly, I expected him to win. The way to win, I didn't know, but I expected him to win. And if he surprised me or whatever, no. I even think, um, he hasn't he's not better than he was, like all the years passing, but he's not getting better, he's not getting better. And I think even he's less performant than before. So that's what I'm thinking. And I think that at the third round, his cardio was going down. And that's it. That's what I saw from the fight. I know his style. I knew how he would come in the fight with the same style as usual, but like nothing different than before.
Sean talked about you at the media day, and he said that he doesn't want to see you fight Khamzat Chimaev. He says, I'm not going to repeat verbatim what he said, but he said it would be kind of a boring fight. And then you responded on Twitter, quote, you can rinse it, polish it, rebrand it. Garbage is still garbage. And then you tag Sean Strickland in that. What did you make of his comments about you and Khamzat, and why did you feel the need to tweet that at him after his media day?
Pendant la Fight Week, Strickland, il avait parlé de toi en disant que le combat entre toi et Khamzat, ce serait un combat. Il a dit, je veux pas citer, il avait dit fucking terreau, tu vois. Et il a dit que ce serait un combat ennuyant, etc. Et toi, tu as réagi directement avec ton tweet en disant, tu peux le rincer, c'est faire ce que tu veux. Au final, de la merde, ça restera toujours de la merde. Pourquoi tu as pris les devants là-dessus? Pourquoi tu as voulu l'attaquer là-dessus directement? Pourquoi t'es venu le provoquer en gros?
Mais parce qu'il a parlé de moi, c'est logique. D'une, de deux, il me touche moi, il touche ma nation, ma religion. Donc c'est normal que je réagisse. Il y a des choses, faut faire attention. Il y a le trash talking, il y a des choses, faut pas dépasser les limites. Et c'est lui, c'est ce qu'il fait depuis, depuis pas mal de temps. Et c'est un gros problème. C'est un gros problème. Et ouais, je sais même pas pourquoi est-ce qu'on lui laisse dire tous ces conneries-là. C'est quoi? Il est en train de t'associer à chaque fois qu'il y a un musulman, à chaque fois qu'il y a un prénom Nassourdine, comme moi, direct terroriste. Ça veut dire quoi? Ça veut dire qu'il associe le terroriste à l'islam. C'est un gros problème. Et bizarre qu'on le laisse encore faire des interviews et qu'on ne coupe pas son micro à ce moment-là. Donc ça m'a bien sûr énervé. et j'étais obligé de réagir.
Yeah, I reacted because he spoke about me, and I don't like this guy, and everybody knows I don't like this guy, And like every time this guy speaks, he speaks some shit. He associate Muslim Islam with terrorism, and that's something we can't let. They have cut his microphone at the end of the press conference. It should be every time. He should be cut every time because there is trash talk. We understand trash talk. We understand entertainment and everything. But I think we remain sportsmen and models for some young generation, and we need to have this role model. And we can speak however we want. So, like I said, I never speak about athletes. When I have a beef, I have a real beef. So when you see me talking, it's because I have a real beef. It's not because of the camera or whatever. I'm here to make understand that I have a real beef with someone.
I have to ask you, if the UFC books Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland next, how would you handle that?
Je dois te le demander. Si l'UFC organise Khamzat contre Strickland pour le prochain combat, comment tu vas opérer? Qu'est-ce que tu vas en tirer de ça?
Écoute, moi je sais juste qu'il va se faire étrangler. Il va rapidement se faire étrangler. Tout ce cinéma-là, c'est bien, mais on sait très bien que on sait déjà ce qui s'est passé aux entraînements. Et tu prends les deux styles, tu sais très bien qu'il va pas dépasser le premier round. On le sait. Donc voilà, tout ce qui va se passer, c'est qu'il va se... Oui, ils vont vendre le combat, etc. Mais au combat, ça va être à chier. C'est ça. Donc c'est la chose que je retiens.
Okay. So what he said is, if it happens, we all know the result. We all know the result, and that's a mismatch. Because what will happen is what happened tens of times at the gym. So he will bring him down, and how do you say that in English? Choke him out. He will choke him out in the first round. So maybe the build-up of this fight will be great with all trash talking and all shit talk, but at the end of the day, the fight will be useless because it will end very quickly, and he knows that.
C'est
If
quoi,
Mais
je te
je reviens sur la
rajouter,
question. Vas-y.
c'est quoi le plus important? C'est d'aller faire une guerre dans la cage, de faire un beau combat, donner le beau combat pour les gens, ou c'est de dire, ouais, de dire n'importe quoi en dehors, de faire des bagarres, etc. Ça, je trouve, tu vois ce que je veux dire? Est-ce que, frère, il y a une différence. Nous, on veut faire ce combat-là dans le respect, on va faire le combat. Par contre, dans la cage, ça va envoyer. Ça va être une grosse guerre. Alors que de l'autre côté, il y a, le gars, il parle. Il envoie des mots à droite, à gauche, et puis dans la cage, il n'y aura rien du tout. C'est évident.
Yeah, fans should determine it. Uh, What do you guys prefer? You prefer a big build up with someone speaking trash and everything, and then there is no fight? Or do you prefer two guys, very strong, respectful towards each other, but when they enter the cage, you can expect kind of world war, because it will be huge. Him against me, no one wants to lose, and I'm not this guy. So the competition will be tough, and I'm here to bring a big challenge. So that's my question. What do you guys want to see? Someone speaking a lot, or a fight that you will remember for ages? That's it. And I will ask you a question again, the way he will handle it. Nas, en gros, la question, là, on a répondu à d'autres choses, mais la question, c'est si demain, bah, du coup, l'UFC annonce ce fight-là, toi, ça va être quoi ta réaction? Est-ce que, bah, du coup, tu vas décider de combattre, de pas combattre, de prendre le seum, etc. Tu vois? Moi, je pense que tu dois dire, je ferai ce que je dois faire, tu vois?
Enfin, je
Hein?
ferai, ouais, c'est ça. On verra bien. On verra bien, mais je sais que je combattrai que pour la ceinture. C'est ce que je mérite et voilà.
So, if it happens, how I will handle it is, like I said to the UFC, I want to fight only for the belt. I want to fight only for the belt. So that's my point. The only fight I want, and I think I deserve it, and everyone knows I deserve it, it's for the belt. So it doesn't matter. We will see how we will react. But But of course, like I said with Mick and Hunter that the only fight I want is for the belt, and that's all what I'm expecting, nothing else.
So you're waiting. Doesn't matter who has the belt. Doesn't matter when. Your next fight will be for the belt. Nothing else is going to happen.
Il a dit du coup, tu vas attendre, peu importe qui gagne ou qu'est-ce, et au final, ce que tu veux, c'est juste aller combattre pour la ceinture, c'est ça?
Exactement, exactement. On a montré qu'on était prêt pour. On sait que l'UFC, ils aiment bien qu'on est actif. On a montré qu'on pouvait être actif. On a montré qu'on savait mettre des finishes. Ils aiment les finishes, donc on leur a montré. On est jeune, on progresse toujours. Et puis voilà, on est prêt. On est prêt pour combattre pour la ceinture.
So, I've showed everything. I've showed that I can be an active fighter like the UFC likes. Like I told you, five fights, 18 months against all top 10 guys. Um, I've shown that I can finish guys. I finished Adesanya, I finished Cannonier in the last five fights. And so I showed that the only place where I belong is the title fight. And that's it. And then we'll see according what they do. But like I said, I don't change my mind. The only thing I deserve is the belt. And I'm willing to fight for the belt, and that's it. I'm in the UFC for the belt, for nothing else. No awareness or no money or whatever. I'm here for the belt.
I did see you called out Sean after, or it wasn't really a call out. It was more, this is the tweet. My dream, bring me the clown for the crown. Maybe you fight for a vacant title. I don't know. Obviously, you guys have fought before, and there's a bit of a beef here. And obviously, the first fight was weird situation where it was a short notice deal, it was up a weight class, all of that. But you're saying, bring me the clown for the crown. You're saying me and Sean for the belt. Do you know something we don't here, Nassourdine? Do you feel like that's an option? Do you feel like Khamzat is going to move up? I know we talked about it earlier, but do you feel like this could be the fight? Khamzat moves up and you fight Sean for the vacant belt?
Après le fight, on t'a vu tweeter, ramenez-moi le clown pour la ceinture. Euh, Est-ce que tu sais quelque chose qu'on ne sait pas? Est-ce que tu penses que c'est un combat qui est possible pour la ceinture vacante? Est-ce que tu sais que Khamzat veut monter de catégorie? Dis-nous s'il y a des choses qu'on ne sait pas et donc du coup qu'on peut comprendre à travers ton tweet. Est-ce que tu penses que c'est un combat qui est réalisable pour la ceinture? Moi, ce que je pense,
C'est,
c'est comme tu l'as dit, qu'il est lourd déjà, Khamzat, et aussi
ouais, c'est ce que
que
j'allais dire.
c'est un putain de fight.
Ouais, c'est fort possible. C'est fort possible. Comme, ouais, c'est ça. Khamzat, il est lourd en ce moment. Il se peut que 93, il fera plus facilement le poids qu'à 84. Et puis, il y a des tweets qui étaient passés. Il y a eu des tweets qui étaient passés qui voulaient monter à 93. Je crois qu'il a marqué ça
Ouais.
sur X. Et, euh, et puis voilà, moi, je vais lui donner une proposition de fight. Après, je sais pas ce qu'il disait. Il a essayé de contourner, de passer par 5 chemins. Mais c'est simple que ce que je lui ai proposé, lui contre moi pour la ceinture. Et ça va être un gros fight. Il sait très bien. Il sait très bien que c'est pas le Nassourdine qu'il y a 2 ans, ou combien de temps, 2, 3 ans, 3 ans en arrière. Il le
Ouais, il
sait
a
très
parlé des
bien.
conditions du fight, ouais.
Oh, ouais. Comment?
Il a parlé des conditions du fight, que c'était en lourd léger, etc., short
Ouais,
notice et tout.
mais je veux pas chercher des excuses, tu vois. J'ai dit, dès que je suis sorti du combat, j'ai dit, je vais prouver avec mes points que les gens vont comprendre plus tard que ce jour-là, c'était pas le même Nassourdine. Aujourd'hui, je l'ai prouvé. Je montrais mon vrai niveau. Et les gens savent que, gros, tu regardes mon combat, c'était pas moi ce jour-là. Mais voilà, c'est un combat, c'est passé. Maintenant, je veux ma revanche depuis longtemps et ça va être un gros combat. Il y a une histoire derrière et on s'aime tout simplement pas. Il y aura de la bagarre dans la cage, il y aura de la bagarre en dehors de la cage. C'est un mec que je déteste tellement que je le croise dans la rue, j'ai envie de le rentrer dedans. Donc ouais, je pense que ça pourrait être intéressant. Voilà.
So for the things I know, it's like you guys saw, Hamzat tweeted that he wants to go up to 205. That's the first thing. For knowing him, I know he's heavy, and it will be easier for him to make the weight for the light heavyweight division. About Strickland, it was a proposal. It was a proposal because guys, something you need to understand is since 2 years I'm asking the UFC for this guy. You know, I don't want to make excuses or whatever about light heavyweight, about short notice and everything, you know. Uh, because when I left this fight, I was like so disappointed that I said something simple is that I will show people with my fist where I belong. And then you saw all the past between his fight against Sean Strickland. Then right now, you know, he had Chris Curtis. It was a masterclass until the fight was stopped. Then the five guys from the top 10 he beat. So he showed with his fist, and that's what he wanted because he's not the kind of guy that make excuses. Of course, there are many elements in this fight that made these fights so strange, and he knows that first it was not the real Nassourdine Imavov inside the cage because a lot of factors, but doesn't matter. And the Nassourdine Imavov of right now is very different, and you guys can agree on that than the one that fight maybe 3 years before against Sean Strickland. It's very different, and you guys saw it. And right now, it will be a totally different atmosphere. But also, why I made this proposal because it can be a big fight. You know, it can be a big fight in the build-up because I don't speak so much, but this guy I really hate him. So it will be fireworks outside of the cage. It will be this guy. If I meet him like for the wedding or whatever, we can fight. If I see him in the street, I can fight him. I can brawl him, and in the cage it will be world war, and he will finish with a lot of blood and unconscious. That's what I can tell you. Is that you can't expect a bigger fight at middleweight right now than this fight because it will be two strikers going at war and one will finish unconscious. Unconscious. That's what I'm telling you.
Last thing I wanted to ask you, just to piggyback off of that, you don't like Sean. You would love to get your get back. There's bad blood there, and beating Sean Strickland and winning the belt would be a huge moment for you. And then there's Khamzat Chimaev, who you like and you have a relationship with, but he is the boogeyman in a lot of people's eyes. And while beating Sean Strickland would scratch sort of a short-term itch for you, you get a little bit of revenge. If you go out there and beat Khamzat Chimaev, that lasts forever. You're a trivia question. Who's the first guy to ever beat Khamzat Chimaev? Oh, that was Nassourdine Imavov, and he won the belt too. So that would last forever. So you would fight either of these guys, Nassourdine. This is meant to be just, but if the UFC called you right now and they said, who do you want? I'll let you pick. It's Khamzat for the chance to hand that man his first loss and try to win the belt from him, or is it Sean Strickland? Because I just hate this guy. What would you rather do? Because if you fight Khamzat and beat him, you can still fight Sean too.
Il a dit, évidemment, si tu bats Strickland, ça va faire parler, etc. Mais si tu bats Khamzat, ça va faire parler toute la vie, parce que tu seras le premier à avoir détrôné Khamzat. Et en plus, prendre la ceinture en battant Khamzat, quelqu'un qui est invaincu et qui est le boogeyman, qui est la star du moment. Est-ce que si l'UFC t'appelle demain en te disant on a deux propositions, soit Khamzat pour la ceinture, soit Sean pour la ceinture, qu'est-ce que tu choisirais?
Je choisirais Sean. C'est plus fort que moi. C'est c'est évident. C'est évident. C'est un mec qui mérite sa rouste. En plus, j'ai envie comment dire, la défaite de la.
Ouais, ouais.
Tu là, tu vois ce que je veux dire? J'ai envie d'effacer cette défaite-là. En plus, ça, c'est un gars qui parle beaucoup. C'est un gars que je déteste et ça me tient à cœur de le tabasser. Et c'est exactement c'est pour ça que j'aurais choisi
Et
cette option-là.
À propos de Khamzat, est-ce que le challenge il t'intéresse?
Bien sûr, bien sûr. Comme j'ai dit, c'est la ceinture qui m'intéresse. C'est la ceinture, si c'est comme je l'avais déjà dit auparavant, si c'est Strickland qui est derrière la ceinture, c'est magnifique. Il n'y a pas mieux. Maintenant, si c'est Khamzat, ben, il y a la ceinture. Ok, je le connais, on se respecte. Mais voilà, il y aura la ceinture et c'est du sport. Et on va faire on va donner aux gens ce qu'ils attendent. Ce sera un gros combat. Et voilà.
Of course, if I hear you, Hamzat is a big challenge, you know, and he knows, and we know, and the UFC knows that I'm able to go to this fight, and I'm willing to go to this fight, whatever happens, because what I said since a lot of time, it's not right now, is the only thing I'm focusing on is the belt, not the owner of the belt. And that's not since Khamzat get this belt that I said that, but I said that way before because that's the only thing that matter at the end of the day is the belt around my waist. If the UFC call me tomorrow, with the hate I have in my heart, of course it will be Sean Strickland, you know, and then I can fight Khamzat or whatever. But what I have in my heart right now is to erase this defeat, this loss I had few years ago, and beat this guy because I hate him. I don't like the way he speaks. I don't like the way he sings. I don't like the way he speaks about my people. So, like I said, you know, and even in terms of fighting, like I can tell you guys, both of those fights will be world wars. Both of those fights will be crazy. But the one with Sean, I will leave him dead inside the cage.
Well, we will leave it at that, Nassourdine. Just a chilling response to cap this one off. I appreciate the time. Like I said, no one in this division deserves a shot at the belt more than you do. I've been saying that even before they booked the Kaio fight. Just kind of the nature of the business right now. So all the best to you. Hopefully that phone rings and they say, Nassourdine, you're fighting for the belt. But either way, I appreciate the time. Thank you so much. Great catching up with you, Nassourdine. And Younes, thank you for the time as well.
No problem. Thank you very much. Il a dit oui, Nas,
Thank
je
you.
pense que moi, comme je l'ai déjà répété à plusieurs fois, tu es le mec qui mérite la ceinture et personne d'autre. Donc, je te remercie d'avoir pris le temps. J'espère que vous aurez un appel de l'UFC dans les prochains jours, etc., pour t'annoncer le title shot parce que tu le mérites. Et merci d'avoir passé ton temps ici.
Merci, ça fait plaisir. Merci bien.